There are those that just want to be left alone, and those that just won't leave them alone. Which one are you? The Ernest Hancock Show.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence with me, Ernest Hancock, each and every day here on the LRN.FM network. And loving on all y'all because, sharing information, what we know. We're just trying to give you perspective because I love you, and, some of you, probably don't hate me either. Well, what we're going to do is just go through some of the headlines that we have here. And I want to just share some of the goodies because, dang, this is what we have up. Now, we go ahead and take a look at, silver at $40.29, over 40. You think it's going to get below 20 again? 10? Probably not. So, fortunately, if you were, paying attention and believing Austrian economic kind of, Ron Paul types that were just going, this is like math, you were constantly buying silver and gold. Well, what are you doing now? You going to sell it? Cash in? And then, maybe it'll go down, you buy it again. I don't know, man. I'm not feeling comfortable about, getting rid of nothing. I think I'll just hold on to. At 1463, we're near up towards the top on gold too. So, there we go on that. Okay, here's some goodie. Biometric permanent account number, PAN cards, permanent account number, PAN. India introduces PAN cards. The government has decided to issue biometric PAN cards to taxpayers across the country. India is a lot of people. They're almost 1 billion. Aren't they like 700-800 million people or something? That's wow. To weed out the problem of duplicate and fake ones. The decision was taken recently by the Finance Ministry, and it comes in the wake of a Computer and Auditor General report that asked the Income Tax Department to issue that a single taxpayer is not issued multiple cards. The proposed new biometric permanent account number cards would bear the IT assessee's fingerprints, 2 from each hand, and the face. There could be an option to existing PAN cards holders to opt for the biometric cards, but it may not be mandatory. The senior official said, yeah, it will be. Here we go. They have, I guess, it's like a Social Security card, I guess, except where a Social Security card says, shall not be used for identification. Well, they, yeah, it is. And now it's going to be biometric. Okay, here we go. The World Bank and IMF are meeting in Washington. Why don't we care anymore? Cherry blossoms and anti-globalization marches for many years. These were inevitable rights of spring in Washington. But today, while the cherry trees are still blooming, the street demonstrations have wilted. The springtime protests were prompted by the semi-annual meetings of the International Monetary Fund and the World Bank, regularly held in early April. The marchers, many traveling to Washington from faraway places, came to voice their fury against free markets, world poverty, environmental decay, or U.S. foreign policy. They often had specific demands. Stop imposing unpopular economic reforms, like fiscal austerity and that kind of stuff, on poorer countries in exchange for IMF and World Bank funding. Cancel the debts poor countries owe to international banks. Stop free trade agreements. Protect the environment and boost aid to Africa. In general, stop pushing policies that, according to the protesters, promoted savage capitalism and heartless globalization. Now, though a few vigils and rallies will probably pop up surrounding next week's meetings, they will be nothing like the riotous ones that they had before with tear gas, blah, 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 blah. Why? This is opinion in the Washington Post. Where did the protesters all go? What, is everything, we all healed now? No, it was always about, forgiving debt of these guys and giving more money over here to these guys, and you guys need to use your power to do good for people. Well, they're the ones that screwed it up. And now we're going to what? We're going to go to a world-o? And then that's what the protesters were funded and supported and behind the scenes. That's why they were there, was to get us to this point. So I'm like, okay, all right. That's where the protesters went because they already got. It's like, where are the anti-war protesters? You know, I don't know. Pentagon's second thoughts on Iraq withdrawal. 8 months shy of its deadline for pulling the last American soldier from Iraq and closing the door on an 8-year war, the Pentagon is having second thoughts. Reluctant to say it publicly, officials fear a final pullout in December could create a security vacuum, the Associated Press, offering an opportunity for power grabs by antagonists in an unresolved and simmering Arab-Kurd dispute, a weakened but still active al-Qaeda, or even an adventurous neighbor such as Iran. They're never going to stop. These aren't meant to be won. These wars are meant to just continue being fought. And when you have a failure, epic fail, of government at every level doing anything, they have to keep reinventing the need for their existence. I will give you an example. Here we have the private space race is just eclipsing, get out of the way. We're going to Mars. So what happens? I mean, you can't be, left alone. Bold U.S. Russia joint nuclear spaceship proposed. Here we go. A nuclear-powered spaceship may propel the first manned mission to Mars. I don't think they're going to beat Elon Musk, the guy from PayPal. You probably edge him out. Anatoly Perminov, the director of Roscosmos, the Russian counterpart of NASA, told the Russian news agency that RIA that a joint Russian-U.S. nuclear spacecraft project will be on the table during April 15th meetings with the U.S. Space Agency. Besides the U.S., other countries that have nuclear expertise will be included in the proposal. Perminov's added those countries will include China, Japan, Germany, and France. Now, the one thing they've been trying to avoid is putting nuclear reactors in space, because like bombs and stuff. And so if that's a good propulsion, yeah, whatever, but do I want the government doing this? I'm just not feeling warm and fuzzy. Do private industry, are they thinking they have the expertise? Are they going to be allowed to put a reactor in space? Can we have the Starship Enterprise, sponsored by Coca-Cola? I mean, are we going to be at what? Elon Musk isn't waiting anymore. He's going, Falcon Heavy, that's what this is all about, is going to Mars. Blah, 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 Mars. All these launches for next few years, we sold out all our launches. Yeah, that's all very interesting. It's going to help me pay for Mars. We can put up, Bigelow Aerospace has 2 private space stations in orbit right now. Genesis 1, Genesis 2 for years. Nobody ever knows about this stuff. They're going to be putting up, they had such good results from the first 2. They didn't even do the 3rd test one. They're building full mock-ups. They're going to put hotels in space. In fact, the guy that's doing it, Bigelow Aerospace, is the guy that owns Budget Suites out of Vegas. He's going, hey, man, we're going to have a hotel. We're going to LaGrange 1, man. We're going to have us trips to the moon. And they have everything ready to do it. Here we go. We're going to space, and government's not invited. Well, they're going to invite themselves. There's going to be all kinds of policing. The universe is their oyster kind of thing. Going, gone, galt. Oh, by the way, years ago, I got that website. gongalt.com, org, net, whatever. Because I know where this is going to go, man. And then we'll use it for something someday. I have a bunch like that. I got plans. So here we have the U.S. and Russia. We're gonna be buds in space. Right. How'd that International Space Station thing work out? How many gazillions of dollars for what? Why what? And for a fraction of that, they're going to be putting hotels where we can go. And who's going to say we can't? Bad guys. I'm just so sick of this stuff. There's so much coming, and nobody even knows. Now, here's a go. A former advisor to China's central bank, now this is from Zero Hedge, said on Monday that China should have retreated from the U.S. government bond market and instead allowed the yuan to appreciate more freely, warning that U.S. sovereign debt was akin to a giant Ponzi scheme. According to a Newswire report that cited an editorial comment on Zaxxon Media Group's website, Zhu Zhongding, a former member of the People's Bank of China Monetary Policy Committee, kind of their Fed thing, and now a member of the state-run policy group, said allowing appreciation of the yuan against the U.S. dollar under a free-floating currency regime would have reduced China's need to acquire U.S. treasuries. He likened the U.S. Treasury market to a giant Ponzi scheme. Do you think they don't know? They know. The dollar's done. Why do you think all the prices and commodities are starting to shoot up? It's happening now. Get your silver dimes. Get your silver dimes. You know, they're worth $3 now. $3. I got them when they're like $1.30 or something, just like last year. Here it comes. Are you ready? Better start getting ready. Uncovering the secrets and exposing the lies. That's what readers of freedomsphoenix.com get every day. Readers of freedomsphoenix.com are constantly provided the information that detail the real news between the lines of propaganda about government policies and the true relationship we all have with coercive governments. Learn the true condition of our economy, innovations and technological breakthroughs in energy, health, computer science, and space travel. Learn the truth well before it's admitted to in the lamestream media, the media that is so last century. Corporate media has evolved into nothing more than distributors of government propaganda, but we now have a fantastic alternative. FreedomsPhoenix.com provides constant news updates on the issues that affect our lives in the most important ways. Our liberty and our property are under constant attack, and FreedomsPhoenix.com provides the understanding behind the propaganda while encouraging the participation of our readers. Join us at FreedomsPhoenix.com. That's freedoms with an S, Phoenix.com. FreedomsPhoenix.com, where the revolution between the ears has already matured.